In this video, we're going to talk about the lone chooser method for fair division. With the lone chooser method, it's exactly what it sounds like. There's one chooser and everyone else has to divide. We have three players here. We have Samuel, Mark, and Keisha. We have this strawberry chocolate cake with alternating flavors. That is, every other slice is chocolate and every other slice is strawberry. These three players also have three different value systems. Samuel likes each flavor the same. So with the total cost of the cake being $54, that means that no matter the flavor, each slice is worth $9 to Samuel. Mark values strawberry twice as much as chocolate. That is, one slice of strawberry is worth the same as two slices of chocolate. Doing a little bit of substitution work, we find that in Mark's eyes, a slice of strawberry is worth $12, while the slice of chocolate is worth $6. Keisha values chocolate 3 times as much as strawberry. That means it would take 3 parts of strawberry to equal 1 part of chocolate in their eyes. Let's do the substitution work here. Our cake has 3 parts strawberry and 3 parts chocolate, worth a total of $54. Substituting our 1 chocolate for 3 slices of strawberry, we have 1 chocolate plus 3 chocolate is $54. In other words, 4 parts of chocolate is worth $50, or 1 part of chocolate is worth $13.50. Dividing that by 3, we find that 1 part of strawberry is worth $4.50 in Keisha's eyes. Now that we know everybody's value system, let's talk through the process. By a fair draw, Keisha wins and chooses to be the chooser. The way that the lone chooser method works is that the chooser gets to stand off to the side while the 2 dividers do all the work. So in this situation, Samuel and Mark are chosen to be the dividers. We could label them divider 1 and divider 2, while Keisha is the designated chooser. Samuel and Mark, as the dividers, are going to follow the divider-chooser method to cut the cake in half. By a coin toss, Samuel is selected to be the divider, while Mark gets to choose. With Samuel being the divider here, and valuing strawberry and chocolate the same, I imagine that he might cut the cake just right in half. This gives us S1 and S2 for Mark to choose from. Let's think about what these halves are worth to Mark. That is, what is S1 worth and what is S2 worth? Mark feels that each piece of strawberry is worth $12, while each piece of chocolate is only worth $6. So you can see pretty quickly that Mark is going to choose S1. This leaves S2 for Samuel. Now that Samuel and Mark have used the divider-chooser method to cut the cake in half, they each now have the job of dividing their share into 3 equal shares. Mark has S1 to divide up, and Samuel has S2 to divide up. Again, since Samuel values strawberry and chocolate the same, he may simply divide this into thirds. In his eyes, each of those pieces is worth $9. Since this is S2 divided into 3 parts, let's label these portions as S21, S22, and S23. Now Mark's situation is a little bit different. Mark feels that the strawberry wedges are worth $12, while the chocolate wedge is only worth $6. So S1 in Mark's eyes is worth a total of $30. So to divide this equally into 3 parts, he needs 3 shares, each worth $10 each. A $10 wedge of strawberry might look something like this. Same with the other piece. This leaves $2 from each of those pieces of strawberry added into that piece of chocolate, making this middle wedge also worth $10. Just to get a little more particular, let's talk about exactly how much of the strawberry needs to be cut off of each of those wedges. Not to get too technical, but each of these wedges of the cake is 60 degrees. If the total worth of this slice is $12, how much do we need to cut off to make it worth $10 and $2? We need to find $10 worth of our $12 wedge. And we need to know how many degrees is that out of a total of 60 degrees. Multiplying both sides of this equation by 60 degrees, we get 60 degrees times 10 over 12, which tells us that x, or the portion we leave to be worth $10, is 50 degrees. In other words, if we divide this 60-degree slice into 50 degrees and 10 degrees, the 50-degree slice will be worth $10, while the 10-degree slice will be worth $2. Back to Mark's divisions, we have 50 degrees for our lone slices of strawberry, and for the one in the middle, we have 60 degrees of chocolate plus another 20 degrees of strawberry. For Mark's pieces, let's call these S11, S12, and S13. Keisha is our designated chooser, and she gets to choose one share from Samuel's thirds and Mark's thirds. Let's first look at the three choices that Keisha has from Samuel's shares. In Keisha's eyes, the 2 slices of chocolate are worth $13.50, while the strawberry piece is only worth $4.50. So it seems pretty obvious that Keisha would choose one of the chocolate pieces. Let's suppose that she takes S23. So far, she has $13.50 worth of the cake. Looking at her choices from Mark's cuts, she's definitely going to choose the middle one. To her, let's think about what this middle slice is worth. In the middle, there's an entire wedge of chocolate cake, which to her is worth $13.50. There's also another 10 degrees on each end of strawberry. That's 1/6 of a slice of strawberry on each side. And 1/6 of $4.50 is another 75 cents on each side. That means that this middle wedge to Keisha is worth a grand total of $15. $15 and $13.50 choosing her 2 portions, Keisha has a grand total of $28.50. Keep in mind that with this cake worth $54 total, a fair share is $18 or more. I think Keisha's pretty happy with her fair share. Now that Keisha has taken her pieces from both Samuel and Mark get to keep what's left. Let's think about the value of what they have. In Samuel's eyes, each wedge is worth $9, and 9 plus $9 is a grand total of $18. So in Samuel's eyes, he received a fair share. To Mark, as we already figured out, each of these wedges of strawberry are worth $10 each. So in Mark's eyes, he got a total of $20 worth of cake. That is, for every player in this game, they got at least $18 or more in their own eyes based on their own value system. Now that we're done, let's just summarize this method. We started out with 3 players. Keisha was chosen to be the chooser. Hopefully you're starting to see that it's definitely best to be the chooser. This left Samuel and Mark to follow the divider-chooser method and divide the cake into 2 halves. In this case, Samuel got to divide and Mark got to choose. Once it was divided into 2 halves, the 2 dividers, Samuel and Mark, each got to divide their portion into what they considered to be 3 equal portions, or into thirds. Now the designated chooser gets to come in and choose 1/3 from each player's divisions. The dividers then get to keep the other 2/3 from their half. And that's how the lone chooser method works for fair division.